The rain had finally stopped, leaving the cobbled streets of London shimmering under the glow of golden streetlights. The faint mist in the air smelled of damp stone and fresh rain, wrapping the city in a quiet, dreamlike haze. Sophie pulled her coat tighter around herself as she and James walked side by side along the Thames. It was their thing, late-night walks through London, when the crowds had thinned and the world felt like it belonged just to them. Tonight, though, something was different. Sophie could feel it in the way James kept glancing at her, as if there was something heavy on his mind, something he wanted to say but hadn't yet found the words for. Cold? James asked, noticing the way she hugged her arms to her chest. A little, she admitted, flashing him a playful smile. But I don't mind. It's beautiful out here tonight. James chuckled, shoving his hands into the pockets of his coat. London's never quiet, but it does feel different. Like it's waiting for something. His words sent a shiver down Sophie's spine, and not from the cold. The way he was looking at her now, with a quiet intensity, made her heart stutter. They continued walking, their footsteps muffled by the damp pavement. The lights of the London Eye cast a soft, multicolored glow on the river, and the distant hum of the city seemed softer somehow, like background music to the moment unfolding between them. Sophie had known James for years, since their first year at university, when they had met over a shared cup of terrible campus coffee. Friendship had come easily between them, built on late-night study sessions, inside jokes, and a mutual love for exploring the city. But somewhere along the way, things had shifted. It was in the way their hands would brush when they walked too closely together. The way he remembered the smallest things about her, her love for Earl Grey tea with honey, the way she always carried a book in her bag, how she could never resist stopping to admire a street musician. And in the way she found herself watching him when he wasn't looking, memorizing the curve of his smile, the way his laugh made her heart feel lighter. She had never said anything, too afraid to ruin what they had. But tonight, standing at the edge of Westminster Bridge, she wondered if maybe, just maybe, he felt the same. James stopped walking. Sophie turned to him, her breath catching at the look in his eyes. His usual easy confidence was gone, replaced by something softer, more hesitant. "Can I tell you something?" he asked, his voice quieter now. Sophie swallowed hard, nodding. "Of course." He exhaled slowly, as if gathering courage. "I think I've been in love with you for longer than I care to admit." Her breath hitched. For a moment, the entire world seemed to still. The sound of the river lapping against the bridge, the distant laughter of tourists, the faint chime of a nearby clock, all of it faded into silence. "You think?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. James let out a breathy laugh, shaking his head. "No, I know." Sophie felt warmth bloom in her chest, a happiness so intense it was almost overwhelming. She had imagined this moment so many times, but never had she thought it would feel quite like this, so simple, so right. "Good," she whispered, stepping closer. "Because I've known for a long time too." A slow, relieved smile spread across James's face. "You have." She nodded. "I was just waiting for you to catch up." He laughed, a sound filled with pure joy, and reached up to tuck a loose strand of hair behind her ear. His fingertips lingered against her cheek, his touch sending sparks through her veins. And then, as the bells of Big Ben began to chime midnight, James closed the space between them, capturing her lips in a kiss that felt like the beginning of forever. The city stretched on around them, vast and endless, but in that moment, all that mattered was the two of them, standing on the bridge, hearts finally aligned, as London whispered its silent blessing around them.